Oh, hey everybody, Del Bond here. Today I'm with Azim JEssa at the Jessa Realty Group, and we're going to be learning about Las Vegas, Nevada. So the point of these videos is to give you a trusted resource in these different markets across the country, and we're going to learn a little bit about Azim and his team today as well. So Azim, thank you for joining us, and we're excited to have you.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you asking. Thanks for reaching out.
Yeah, no question. It's funny we all think of Las Vegas, and most all of us have been there to visit. So I'm excited to learn about living there. That's what's great about these calls. So anyway, we really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely. No, when I first moved here, I moved here in 1999 from Vancouver, Canada. And I have to be honest, I didn't even know where Las Vegas was on a map, right? I was under 21, so wasn't a place I came as a young adult. And so I looked on the map. I'm like, oh, that's kind of like over by California, right? So I'm like, all right, we're still west. That's good, right? It's in the desert. It's warm. Yeah, I met my wife 2 weeks later, and so I've been here for 25 years now, and this is home. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great story, and I saw that too. It's funny. I pulled up a map of Nevada too, and we all think we know where it is, but you guys like southern Nevada, right? You're so
Correct.
close to. We forget how close it is to Cali.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. With no traffic, like if you pick a good time to drive, you can get to LA, Greater LA, in about 3.5 hours. I'd say 3.5 if you're driving safely. So let's use that one. And
Yeah, yeah.
we're about 4.5 from the beaches in San Diego, and right now they're working on Interstate 11, which would connect Las Vegas and Phoenix. And so right now it's about 5.5-ish hours to get to downtown Phoenix from Vegas. But once that freeway's done, it should probably knock it down to 4.5 or so.
Wow, that's big. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and
just in Phoenix. That'll be a good, nice little get then.
yeah, absolutely. And then, we're not even 6 hours or so from Salt Lake. So if you're a business owner, it's actually a pretty good central location if you have some sort of distribution.
Yeah,
I always say Vegas is one stop from anywhere in the world, right? Like we have nonstop flights from pretty much anywhere in the US. So if you want to travel overseas, you can go Vegas to New York, Vegas to Atlanta, Vegas to
yeah.
Houston, LA, San Francisco, boom, you're anywhere you want to go in the world, one stop. So, if you're a traveler too, it's a great location and a super efficient airport. So, I mean, it's super busy and you still show up, 45 minutes before your flight and you're on the plane.
Well, that's it too, right? That was my experience there too, and that's another intangibles of. That's why it's great to connect.
Yeah,
People don't think of this stuff, just to travel and how many destinations are coming there, right? So you got
yeah,
all those
absolutely.
flights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's a little bit about you. How'd you get into real estate?
Yeah, funny story. So I already talked about my wife. I moved here in 99. We had our first child in 2006, and my wife worked at Starbucks. I was general manager of the Gap. She was a district manager at Starbucks. And she used to sell new homes when she was like 19 or 20-ish before we met. And after the baby, she was like, you know what? Like, I just can't do these 12-hour days at Starbucks anymore, right? Great company, but just, working a corporate job and, that type of position, the hours are long. And so she's like, I'm going to get back into real estate. And that was during the short sale days. So those of us that have been around for a while, right, know that
Yeah.
during the foreclosure crisis and the short sale. So she got so busy doing short sales for people, referral after referral after referral. She's like, you need to quit your job and come work with me. And so I did. And we got super busy, built a team of, I don't know, 7 or 8 people at the time. And just working short sales and helping people. And just before COVID, in God's perfect timing, she was like, you know what, I'm not gonna work anymore. You got this. Like she stayed home, and then 3 months later, COVID happens, and she had to homeschool the kids, and so everything worked out. But yeah, so
Oh, it's
I've been,
interesting. So you started with her, and then she kind of transitioned out, and you took it over.
yep, yeah. No,
Wow.
she's our daughter's just about to graduate. She's a senior. She just had prom last weekend. Our son's a freshman, so we're getting close to those empty nest dates. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting too. Us Massachusetts people appreciate to know that you do have ice hockey down there. Your son's a hockey player, right?
yep, absolutely. So yeah, we are right. The Vegas Golden Knights, the scourge of the NHL. Everyone hates us because we were able to get a pretty good
Did you
team right off
win?
the bat. Actually, I was in Boston for NAR in November for the annual conference, and we did go to a Bruins game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it sat right on the glass behind the penalty box. So
Nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty fun.
Well, as you
Um,
know, our coach came over there, so that was
Bruce Cassidy, yeah, his
yeah.
son actually goes to school with my son. They play hockey together.
No kidding.
So yeah, so I
Oh,
think he
very
just
cool.
left. Like Cole said, he just moved away now. Like he's going to maybe I don't know, so don't quote me, but I think he's going to like a proper hockey boarding school or something. So
Okay.
but yeah, no, it's he plays hockey. We've got a big, junior Golden Knights program and the Las Vegas Storm, and there's a couple other programs here, and so youth hockey's developing, and we love it.
That's awesome. Um, what Azim, tell me, I always like this question. What do you like most about the job?
Oh, I know it's a bit of a cliche answer, but I love like helping first time home buyers. I love meeting new people every day.
Yeah.
Uh, that's probably my favorite thing, honestly, like meeting new people every day. I've never really wanted to work at a desk and just make phone calls and, this allows me to go out, have coffee with my friends, like, celebrate people's accomplishments, right? Like, go to their kids' dance recitals or little league games and things like that. Like that's what's amazing that, when we get to work by referral, which I know you do as well.
Yeah.
It's awesome that our job is getting to have, do life and have relationships with people. So super that's absolutely love that part of the job. And I always tell people, right, like yeah, we earn our money in the time between, the transaction, right? So you sell and you buy, or you buy and you sell. It's this period in between is when we're earning our money, right? We're there to help you with those connections, those referrals. Like, oh, you need a plumber, you need a contractor, you need a finance guy. Like people, I mean, I've literally been asked about a doctor for a vasectomy. I'm like, wow. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
like I didn't know that was in the scope of real estate, but yeah, here's a referral, right? So yeah, absolutely. So I do love the people part of it. I'm definitely an
Yeah.
extrovert and a people person.
Yeah, and that's good. And a good time to mention too. I always mention to the call, we're both part of the same network of real estate agents across the country. We're all, like you said, you didn't have to ask. We're both doing business by referral, and like you said, it's all about helping people,
Yeah,
building relationships, and it's good to demystify this industry. Sometimes we get trapped into that transactional on the outside looking in, right? But once we serve people, they see what the value we really have and how connected we are in our communities.
absolutely. Right. We're not cold calling people. We're not spending half of our day looking, hey, these 200 people visited my website. I better reach out to them. Like, I'm like, oh, I have two text messages from a friend. Let me check in with them and see what's going on. Right.
That's right.
That's the great thing about this job. We get to spend all day serving our people
Yeah.
rather than the majority of our day serving, you know, online leads or prospects, if you will,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you're building that trust, and that's why it's good. Like my people that I've been working with for 20 years, they see me. I wouldn't be getting online with someone and so it's trust, right? They know if someone's thinking of that area, they're not going to hesitate to call you, right? That's the
Right,
whole point,
absolutely. Yeah,
you
no
know?
like and trust, right? That old saying.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. Um, how about what specific areas do you cover? I mean, I think you cover it all, right? But just tell a little bit about kind of the
Yeah.
makeup and the real estate out there.
Sure, absolutely. So Las Vegas isn't a huge city, right? We are, I know I've heard numbers close to pushing maybe about 2 million in population. Um, we're a valley, right? So we have mountains on both sides, and it's mountains in the north and kind of like a little freeway that run, well, not a little, it's a big freeway. We have two freeways. It's kind of like an X, and one freeway runs from Phoenix to Reno, and the other one runs from San Diego to Salt Lake, and they both meet in the middle of our city. I'd say Vegas, end to end, corner to corner, you're talking 45 minutes drive, so it's nothing dramatic.
Yeah.
So we did, and like I said, we work by referral. So my clients have a referral in Henderson or in North Las Vegas. We help those folks, right? It's not so big of a city that you don't know and have your finger on the pulse of what's happening in those markets. The majority of our city, right? We're a service industry, so we're all driven by what happens on the strip for the majority of it. So it's not, there's not dramatic, differences in market conditions in one corner to another. So
Right.
yeah, we work pretty much all over the valley. I happen to live in the southwest part of the valley, so we have a 215 beltway. It's like a C shape around our city, and I live in the bottom corner of that C. And our kids go to school in the west side and all around. But we do work everywhere. I have team members that live in Henderson. I have a team member that lives in the northwest part of the valley. So we always get it covered if someone's knows that area a little bit better than someone else, we can always help.
Yeah, that's good too. I mean, the people that know me, they know we do business the same way. It's nice having that team spread out. Might have someone who is real knows a lot about a certain area, right? And
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
that's the benefit of it.
Yeah.
So Azim, why, we're seeing people coming there. You got more people coming there than leaving, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Um, and you'll talk about it, I'm sure. You talked about California, it's probably the bulk of it, but why are people moving there?
Yeah, well, Las Vegas is just it's a great place to live, like I said, lifestyle wise, right? If you're a foodie, we got some of the best restaurants in the world, right? If you like entertainment, we got, the best shows on the strip and the concerts are always here, right?
Yeah,
One of one of my clients is like, "Hey, do you want to come to WrestleMania this weekend with me?"
yeah, okay, sure.
I'm like, "Yeah, all right." I haven't watched wrestling since I was in high school, but I'm down for it. I'm pretty excited about this. Um, but yeah, there's that. Obviously, financially too, we have really low property taxes. Our taxes are at about 1% of the home value, and we have no state income tax. So if you're an income earner in a tax state that you have the ability to work remote, we had a lot of people move here, especially from California. Actually, I've had a Boston person during the pandemic, a few people from the Pacific Northwest move here, moving out of especially in these tech jobs where they have the ability to work remote, and it's a
Yes.
13% savings if you're moving here from California. So
Yeah,
there's
exactly. Well,
definitely that.
California's 13, I think.
13%, yeah.
Yeah,
And Southwest flies, Vegas to LAX for, if you book more than 3 weeks out, it's $50, right? So you can get back to LA for, round trip for under $100, visit your friends for the weekend, do whatever, and come back and work here and save that tax money.
pretty awesome.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
we're not quite 13%. I think we're 5, right? But
Mhm.
still, I noticed too. We look at the study. We on this whole moving out series we're doing. We look at different demographics and studies, and a big portion of that is people 65 and over. It looks like coming in
Yeah.
there
We
in
actually do.
retirement.
We do have a couple big retirement communities. Thanks for bringing that up. So we have a couple Sun Cities. So if you're in the Phoenix area, you know what I'm talking about. But it's a big master plan community, retirement community for 55 and older. And there's a couple more that are even more active. Like there's a neighborhood called Sienna. There's a neighborhood called Regency. Like they have like these amazing pickleball courts. Sienna's got a massive clubhouse with tennis courts and pools and all sorts of stuff. So even if you're a 55 or older, which I'm only 10 years from that now, so I can't start calling that old.
I know it's
But
so funny. I'm
there's
doing the
some
same
really
thing, right?
really active adult communities. So
Yeah,
you have it all, and so you can golf cart around everywhere. It's great, right? So there's quite a large retirement population here too, and then we have a lot of military, right? So we have
yeah.
um, three major Air Force bases or military bases kind of nearby. Well, I'd say two for sure. The third one we're not allowed to talk about, right? That's the over in Area
Right.
51.
Yeah, yeah.
We have Nellis Air Force Base is huge. It's in the northeast part of our valley. That's where the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds are based out of. So it's kind of cool if you get up early. You can see them practicing in the morning, like over the valley. It's really cool. And then we have Creech Air Force Base, which is about 50 minutes north on the 95 on that freeway that goes between Phoenix and Reno. And that's where they do a lot of the UAV, the drone flights from, right? So they'll launch them remotely. So maybe they're, wherever they are, Middle East or wherever, and they launch these drones remotely, and then they satellite uplink them, and then they fly them from Creech. So the pilots are actually here, flying, and then they go home to Little League. So they fly their, take their kids to Little League. So it's
Amazing, isn't
quite
it?
interesting. So, but it's
Yeah.
only, yeah, about a 45-minute flight. And then obviously we do have the Nevada test site is what it's called. And you can drive there or there's some daily flights out of McCarran Airport or Harry
Oh, no
Reid.
kidding. I didn't know you can fly
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, you and I can't, but those folks that work there,
There are
yeah,
people that, yeah, exactly. You get a job that you fly there.
yeah. So nice. It's supposedly a 40-minute flight. Obviously, I've never done it. I know a couple people that have worked out there. Obviously, they don't talk about anything. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so the demographically, a lot of the clients we're helping, we're selling their primaries and they're looking for um places to go.
Mhm.
Florida's a big destination, South Carolina coming from Massachusetts, but a lot of people asking about different areas of the country. Arizona's been big. So I think, Las Vegas is one of these places to look into too. I think
Yeah.
we think of
I
it as
feel
a
like
visit, but
I feel like we compete a lot with Arizona. Phoenix
right.
is a great city, right? My wife and I spent some time down there. It's beautiful. Um, we're 5 degrees cooler than Phoenix all the
Yeah.
time. We are about half the size of Phoenix. So if you like that desert feel, lots of golf. We have the same amenities, right? So if you like that desert feel, but you just want a bit of a smaller community, I think Vegas is your option.
And you got WWF coming. They don't Phoenix doesn't.
Yeah, WWF.
That's awesome. Yeah, the stuff you must see and the opportunities to see stuff that comes through that city.
Yeah. Oh, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. I mean, my daughter, yeah, Taylor Swift finally came because we have, the big Allegiant Stadium now where the Raiders
Yeah.
play. We got the Oakland A's coming, so baseball stadiums coming on the strip. Obviously, we got hockey, and I know there's a group that's interested in bringing basketball here. They've already bought the land, and
Oh,
so
that.
looks like we'll be a four-sport city really, really soon. We have
Yeah.
lacrosse, women's pro volleyball, the WNBA, the Aces won the championship a couple years in a row. So we're if you like sports, this is a good place for you too.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, and up here, huge sports base up here. So
Absolutely, yeah. You guys are another four-sport city, so
yeah.
not too many of them in the U.S.
So we'll wrap things up here soon. What's going on in your market? Why don't you give us a little bit about, what you've been seeing and anticipating?
Yeah, absolutely. So, inventory, like I think everywhere else, is just creeping up a little bit, right? It's not quite dramatic enough to push down prices. Prices seem to be fairly stable. We've hovered around a median home price of 480-ish for the last 3, 4 months. And year over year, we're probably up about 5%. So more of a back to a traditional growth market, right? We used to always say prior to COVID and whatnot, 3 to 5% is a normal market. And that's kind of what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Like everywhere else, interest rates are probably a little higher than people want. But there's some ways around it, right? Like we can,
Yeah.
good agents will help you find
Yeah.
find some solutions to that. And that's what we're seeing. I don't know if I think I mentioned to you privately, but I do work with our state realtor association on the legislative side, and we
Yes.
are actively working to find ways to increase development, to speed up that process, to subsidize some of the expenses in that, and then work with our local governments to speed up the zoning process. Because yeah, right
Yeah.
now we have more demand than supply, and that's what's pushing housing prices up. So
Yeah.
you get some more supply on the market, we can stabilize that. And we always say we want the median wage earner in Clark County in Nevada here to be able to buy the median home. So that's truly our wish as realtors. I think there's a misnomer sometimes that we want high prices.
No,
Well, no, we want people to be able to move and
that's
like
right.
move in life and accumulate wealth, because homeownership is the number one way to accumulate wealth. And we want everyone to have that opportunity, to have that shot at the American dream. And when prices are stubbornly high, unfortunately, not everyone gets that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, our state is just ridiculous. I mean, it's so hard. That's why we're doing this whole series. We're trying to
Yeah.
help people. We don't want people to leave, but at the same time, um, the reality is what it is. Especially
Yeah.
our younger population.
Yeah.
They're squeezed.
I
So
mentioned my 18-year-old. I'm like, gosh, what's this? We actually went for dinner with one of our pastors the other night, and their daughter is 23. She's literally saved $100,000. And, she's just in a place where she still can't be able to purchase based
I
on her
know. Yeah,
wages, right? Like her salary isn't enough to cut, even with 100,000 down. So, like, that's, we got to do better as a society. And so, and as realtors, we need to lead that charge. Like, it's
yeah.
important.
That's it. I think people forget about that too. Is that we're always trying to figure that out. I was telling you before, we're down in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. They're having the same problem. I mean, it's everywhere. It's just we got to figure this thing out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time to
All right.
build up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. All right, last question. You kind of hinted on the travel part, how that, but I always like to ask, what's something about living there that, the average person wouldn't know, or, something fun about you living there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're in a desert, but we have a local ski mountain. Mount Charleston is, not far away. It's about a 45-minute drive. Great
Awesome.
place to go in the summer too, because it's about 20 degrees cooler. So,
Mhm.
if you're an outdoor person and you still like to hike, it's probably not super safe to hike when it's 105, 108 degrees, but it's definitely okay to hike when it's 85. And so you can go up Mount Charleston, do a lot of hiking there. And then also we have Red Rock National Conservation Area. So I always see, and I've never done it. My body's probably a little old for this now, but bouldering or rock climbing, you always see these guys with those big pads and they're walking
Yes.
in. And so supposedly we have a pretty phenomenal rock climbing community here. Lots of mountain biking. So if you're outdoors, for
Yeah.
sure. And then we have Lake Mead. It's about 40 minutes away as well. And that's a great place to go water ski in. And I've heard even it's a really good freshwater diving place. So built by the Hoover Dam, so one of the modern wonders of the world. It's pretty neat. So you can do the tour, or as they'll tell you, the dam tour.
That's why I like these calls. You learned something today. I did not anticipate you telling me you could ski in Las Vegas, so that is just
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
well, listen, we appreciate your time. Of course, you and I are going to stay in touch, but this is great. People are considering some different areas of the country for living. I mean, this is it. You got the guy right here who can tell you what not only what it's like to live there, but give you some good insights on the market. And so we really appreciate it, Azim.
Cool. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate the opportunity and look forward to catching up in person really soon.
Yeah, absolutely, bud. All right, you take care, my friend.
Take care.